Hey
Hey,
everyone,
hi
welcome
guys.
welcome to another episode of Seen Anything Good Lately. I'm your host, Hitesh. This is Kendall Vano. What's happening? What's up? We got the club fired up. How's it going, Kendall?
Yeah, we got the
Drink your
club fired up.
whiskey.
I mean, it's just like a green tea.
Yeah, with the vodka you tell you.
I
He's got a
want the club calm down.
I'll be like that DJ that just does the woo woos and the fist pumps and the playing the chain smokers and the bass hunters and the David.
I'll be the pointed club goer who just
You
wants you
just
to play
be
the full song. Just play the full song. Don't mix it.
like I'll tease you with like a real heavy club banger.
I love this song, and then
It's
completely
like
change it.
satisfaction, do 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 remix, and then it'll play some Cardi B because it's Cardi B. What am I gonna?
Okay.
If I was a DJ, I'm not gonna play Cardi B.
Yeah. No, that'll be ridiculous. Of course you have to.
It's silly. And then I have to play the Killers, like straight after, just a natural transition. And then I gotta play Backstreet Boys. Yeah. Then I gotta play the Beatles.
Good. Interesting playlist.
And then I gotta play Cheer Up Charlie. And then just as she say Cheer Up Charlie, and then I'm gonna drop the bass for a Hanson song. Bang. And then I get out of there. And I just drop the mic.
Yeah, leave everyone on a high note.
Yeah, man. If you're not gonna play bop, then what's the point? Get out of here, you lousy DJs.
Okay, what was it? Just stop.
We did
Stop,
tangents
stop,
before
change the
we did
subject.
some tangents before we even started anything.
Yeah. Okay. Have you Tish, have you seen anything good lately?
I think I have. And I have a feeling you've seen it too.
Nope.
We don't plan these things. I just watched Doctor Strange 2.
No
And-
way.
Doctor Strange 2 Love.
Doctor Strangelove.
2. It's a sequel.
Doctor Strange Quest. The Quest for Love.
Yeah. And
The
Thunder.
Questlove would be good in a Doctor Strange movie, I think.
Yeah, he'll just say random music facts throughout the movie.
But he's like that, He's like that. Wisdom.
Well,
He's got that musical wisdom. Charming
Yeah.
person.
Is
Very
he?
intellectual.
He's not
Yeah.
he's not charming.
Oh yeah. But he's like a very pleasant, very, very pleasant guy to be
I
around.
know. I think he could be really douchey.
Really?
Yeah, I have a feeling like he'd be super douchey.
Are you just saying that? But have you seen him in interviews? Like,
I think he'll be super douchey.
oh,
I think he's a cool guy. I think he'll just be really douchey.
okay.
Like if you mispronounce something, he'll be like, well, actually, I think he'll be one of those guys. The well, actually kind of guys. I don't have time for all what. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. I really
You're
don't.
ruining my image of Questlove.
He's got an Oscar. He can do what he wants now.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness.
It's me doing my Doctor Strangeness. For those that are listening, I'm doing I'm doing gang signs with my hands. Not really. I'm just doing Doctor Strange stuff.
Oh yeah.
Directed by the wonderful
Sam
Sam
Raimi.
Raimi. Wow.
So you go first. I want to hear what you have to say about the film.
I
And then I'll-
loved it. Okay, this is going to be a spoiler alert. I mean,
Oh, yeah, it's always spoilers on the show. If you don't like spoilers, you got to get out of here. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I
this is
feel
not
like
the-
we have to because this is the first week it came out and it's a huge Marvel movie. So usually we don't say spoiler alert, but for this one, I want to say we will be spoiling this movie a lot. So anyway, I loved it. I thought the direction of this movie was so weird and zany that we've never seen from a Marvel movie. It was almost like nostalgic the way that it was directed, like with the transitions and the kind of transparent transitions and the weird music in the middle of the movie where Scarlet Witch was doing her spell thing, and Mordo was explaining like the power of the Book of Ashanti. Also, okay, there's a gripe I have with the movie. Where's my Ashanti cameo? The Book of Ashanti. Where's Ashanti?
I don't think she's that Ashanti.
No, it said Ashanti. No, it said Ashanti. Where is the Ashanti?
I think she's just looking for, she's still talking about Park's life.
No, she needs to be. She's got a song called "Always on Time." Could they have not played that and mixed that in somehow? Like at the climax of like the big battle scene.
Always on time.
Gave you the heart. And then that'd be awesome. Him doing all this crap and listening to like Ashanti and like Ashanti just singing in the middle of the throne.
That's why we are not producers.
Kevin Feige, come on, man, you messed up. You fumbled. You dropped the ball on this one. You're useless. You're a piece of crap. You had it all there. Ashanti would have made the movie even better than what it was.
Okay, so anything else?
I loved it. I really liked this movie. It's probably one of my. It's like in the top 10 on the Marvel movies, I think. It was really weird. The practical effects were really cool. Like the Doctor Strange when he turns into a zombie. Like it wasn't like CGI. It wasn't computer generated. It was actual practical effects. Same with like the ghouls that came out. The demons. They were really, really cool looking. And they were really nostalgic of like the whole Army of the Dead and Evil Dead stuff, which Sam Raimi directed previously. It's also important to know that he directed the first 3 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. So I wonder if that had pulled to get Tobey Maguire in the last Spider-Man movie. Anyway, I loved all the practical effects. I thought the acting was great. There's a big part that I want to talk about in terms of characters showing up, but I think I want to have a dialogue with you about it. I thought the acting was fantastic. Rachel McAdams actually got something to do in this movie. She got to choose some scenery, man. Like in Doctor Strange 1, all she was doing was like, do you need a knife? Do you love me? Rescue me? She didn't do too much, but in this one, she really got to choose some scenery. There's a scene where there's like a demon attacking her, and it's like a POV shot of her point of view of the demon, and she's just yelling and screaming. I thought it was fantastic. I thought like there was some really cool shots. There's a shot where Scarlet Witch is looking at the audience, like she's looking at outside the window, then she turns to the camera and looks at us. I thought that was brilliant. I thought there was some really cool, really cool directional work done on this movie that I haven't seen in a Marvel movie in a long time. I don't know if it's because they've had a lot of story-focused directors with John Watts and the Russo brothers. But this one was a lot more artistically creative. The story was lacking a little bit. It kind of, when we got to the third act, it kind of fell apart a little bit. But that kind of climatic, and even the climax scene was a bit sloppy. But other than that, I thought it was like a really good movie. It was great escapism. I'm excited to see what they're going to set up with Doctor Strange 3 or anything else with the multiverse. I'm all for it. Give it to me, Kendall. Give it to me. What did you think of it?
I thought it was. Hold on, just a couple more minutes. Stall for me.
Okay, so.
Okay, never mind. I got it now. I was just checking some notes. I actually agreed with a lot of everything you just said. Personally, for me, I thought it was. Honestly, I thought it was. And this is how I'm not saying anyone. I have no idea. I don't care who's your opinion or my opinions. the right one, honestly. But I'm at the point where, for me, I'm in between. It was an alright film and a good film, and I'm right there in the dead center of those two. It was like for me, I thought it was pretty decent. But like everything you just said, I 100% agree with. A lot of that stuff you just said, like it was like, yeah. I don't know if you like wrote down notes or something, because those are really good points. I thought that Sam Raimi, the best thing about Sam Raimi helming this film was it felt like he was having fun. Like he was moving that camera like his whole style was like that film was thick and loaded with his Sam Raimi-isms.
Yeah.
Like his style. Like there's things that I'm not necessary for this film that I feel like he wanted to put in there. He loves a good house on a street. He can turn that house on a street into something haunting, and he blows the leaves around, and it's very practical. And he uses the kind of like that
like the zooming panning shot.
Yeah, the pan shot, but it's like a third person shot or fourth person, like breaking that fourth wall. He breaks the fourth wall when Wanda looks, but there's that third perspective when we the audience are almost like hollowed. We move through the house and we're always moving around. The camera is always moving. The cuts, those quick edits where she's looking up at her kids and she's also looking up at nothing, and she's in two worlds, and we cut between the two, and that happened a lot. Like this is where we are, this is where they're going, and then they cut, and whoever's editing was very sharp. I'm pretty sure Sam Raimi definitely had a hand on that in the production.
He probably has his own guy that he brings in for stuff as well, because he's at that level.
I thought, I like. You nailed it on the head where John Watts, I think John Watts is like the least at this moment, because he's kind of come off of we call it like story.
Also, we're not backing like the story superhero movies. That's fine, but I think in a long time we haven't had like a creative, like a really artistic kind of weird, zany Marvel movie. Yeah,
he's really indulging himself. I prefer the more story story-centric films, like the Russos and John Watts. But even John Watts's films have become, there's this strange glossy look in the production where they just look too pristine. Their hair is just too well done, and you look at Doctor Strange's hair, and it's just way too put together. And then you look at all the other actors' hair; it looks pristine. Even their clothes just look unnaturally designed by a wardrobe department. There's no range of like economic status between anyone. I think it's just like you look at the sets look way too clean in the settings. And I just like that kind of stuff, and the whole Marvel formula for me it's heading in that fatigue territory. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it, because where it failed, I wouldn't say failed, where it was lackluster in terms of story.
There were dipping points.
Where it dipped in story, it made up for it with gorgeous style and all his flourishes and flavor that he just drips into everything. Like it's got like the Darkhold is like the Necronomicon, and then like the what's called the evil spirits sound exactly like the ghouls from the Evil Dead. But all of his references, everything he loves his career, all those camera movements. There's a scene where she just lifting her head up off of her bed when she wakes up. She dreamt about her kids. He moves the camera with her. And everything moving, the camera actually moves in this movie, and it's actually like almost a character. Like the style of this film is almost a character film.
It's also like the audience is part of the movie when you're watching one of it. Like
it really was more of an experience.
Yeah,
because
and like
it's somewhat interactive. This film forces you to interact, because do you think that helps add to the fact that it's reality, but it's a reality universal based story, and it's about entering into different universes, and we ourselves
are in a
as
universe.
are entering into these universes. That's why the camera's always moving, because that's us.
I also think that's why she's like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but like it's like she's looking at us in that scene when she turns.
World, right?
Yeah, she's like looking into our world, and even like the end credit scene with Bruce Campbell saying, "It's over."
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like he's talking to us. Yeah,
he's talking to us.
Yeah,
it's good to see Bruce Campbell again, because he's another he's one of those flourishes that he sprinkles into. It's his unique.
It's one of Sam's boys as well. So like,
but yeah,
he's always going to put his boys in the movie.
I thought the story could have had more of an emotional arc. There was a decent one, but for like strong enough that like I've seen other people complain about this. The emotional arc doesn't match up with the physical arc. You know what I mean? Like the physical threat that's happening, they don't connect. Except for like in films, they're like so we have films like a Civil War, where they do connect.
Yeah.
The fracture of the Avengers Civil War is the fracture of the friendship between Captain America and Iron Man.
And you feel that as well in the movie.
Yeah, it always feels more greater when there's something emotional at stake, as well as something the huge epic battle at stake. But yeah, honestly, I enjoyed it. I want to watch it again, because I feel like I might have like missed a couple of things. I picked up on a lot of things. I was one of the only people in the theater just like
did you help? I want to ask this question to you, because I think it's important when you watch a movie in the movies and you're watching a big blockbuster like a Marvel movie. What was your theater experience like? So I watched it twice.
Well, I've only seen it once, and it was like on like the early screening on a Wednesday, and it was in the afternoon, and basically no one had an idea. No one in the audience had an idea of what was going on, like the references, except for me. That doesn't doesn't make me better or worse. I'm just saying that I would like to hear some other people joining me in. I did hear a couple of people whispering like references to like, that's what's it called, and like, they're referencing other films. Right. They don't necessarily understand the comic book references they're throwing up there. One that got my heart pumping a little bit was when
I know. I have a feeling.
So we're changing from my opinion of the film to a discussion, and I'll lead into it, where there's a scene where Rachel McAdams said she mentions she was working alongside the Baxter Foundation, which I believe is a reference to the Baxter Building and the Future Foundation. And then I turned to the person I was watching it with, and I was like, because I was like, I know what she's talking about, and my heart just going.
I gasped when I first saw that.
Well, and that led on to my suspicions were confirmed a couple of minutes into that scene. Would you care to?
We got Jim Halpert, aka. We got Jim Halpert as Reed Richards, or John Krasinski is his real name, and John Krasinski is a fan favorite, I think, to play Reed Richards. And to me, like, is he going to be Reed Richards in future Marvel movies, or is this kind of is this it? And like, this is him like saying, okay, I get you want me casted. Yeah, I'm gonna have a 5-minute cameo. But what it could also mean is when they cast another Reed Richards, he could come in as like he's like Reed, I'm here to help you.
Anson Mount plays Black Bolt. He returns after he played in the unsuccessful TV adaptation.
Critically panned.
quickly panned. But I still liked it for what it was because I'm the loser like that. You
I
gotta.
never watched it.
I'm like a Warriors fan. You just even though they keep losing, you just gotta keep like the fandom is what keeps the strength.
Also, we've got one sports reference in. Jeez, weird.
Yeah. And then there was and then one of the big ones, we had Sir Patrick Stewart returning to the role that kind of
really.
Yeah, Professor Charles Xavier. Not any specific, not any other Charles Xavier. The '90s X-Men Charles Xavier. That's interesting.
I'm a huge fan of like that series got me into like superheroes, like along with the Batman cartoon, but the X-Men, the Batman animated series really got me into like superheroes. And when I heard the score, I was Randy Marsh in the South Park meme. I was like that, man. If you know that meme, you know what I'm talking about. But that's how I felt. I felt, oh my god, I felt so fulfilled when I heard this score, when I saw Patrick Stewart. Also, I never knew that Steve Jobs was part of the Illuminati as well.
Steve Jobs.
Because Steve Jobs went into like Wanda's mind to try and get her out. He was wearing his turtleneck.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. I was like,
I don't know. Is that part of the comic?
I see.
That's what I want to ask you. Is Steve Jobs part of the Marvel comics? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think he's played by what is this timing thing?
Oh.
Anyway.
Hello? I cannot hear you.
Okay, so I just want to quickly tell you what I thought was going on with the Illuminati part. Okay, we have '90s Charles Xavier. I've heard talks that they're bringing back the '90s animated show of the TV series on the streaming service, but I heard they're gonna make a new animated series based on those '90s X-Men. That got me thinking that the new X-Men that we're gonna bring back into the Marvel universe with mutants are going to be the '90s version of their counterparts.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't happen either. I thought that was just a cute reference, so I'm not surprised if they don't do it. Another thing I also wanted to bring up, and this is very important to me, is I'm not sure how I feel about having John Krasinski play Reed. I mean, I was happy to see him, but when he was speaking, I was like, are you going to talk like this all the time? Because Reed is the affirmative father figure authority, and he's super smart. But he's good at playing comfort. Like he was telling Doctor Strange what he did, and then he says like, you're a threat. Like he's talking down to him like a father would. But I can't hear the scientist in him. I don't hear the intellectual, the person with inner issues going on. I also love the fact that. So when he appeared, he appeared with this giant square thing coming down and around him. That's Reed's originally in the comic books. That was his time machine. He invented a time machine before Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom had to break into the backstory to use because like Doctor Doom like hates everything that Reed does, and Doctor Doom is like that dude built a time machine, and like if you look at all the other Marvel books. They're constantly using that. It's like a floor thing. It comes up and absorbs you, and then returns back down, and then you reappear wherever you are and in later developments of this time machine, it's used for like universal travel into different universes. I love that. I love that little reference. That giant square just comes out of nowhere and slowly comes up, and out comes Reed. I felt weird how everyone's heads look natural, but the costumes they were in looked like they were like digitally imposed onto them.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Peggy Carter.
I love seeing Peggy Carter again.
I think we're going to see her more and stuff. I think we'll see more and stuff.
I thought that the jetpack was a little bit too much, but
I mean, that's a what if reference, though.
And I love what's her name? The Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is.
You mean the James Bond Captain Marvel?
Yeah, but I was like, the fact that I didn't know not enough about her. I know that she's powerful, but that's not enough. That's not a character.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more. Also, develop her, please, a little bit more, because I'm really interested to see where she's coming from. But Mr. Fantastic and the X-Men, I'm excited for. I'm not sure what the X-Men are going to look like, but please, I hope John picks up his A game, please.
Who's John?
John Krasinski.
Oh.
Because I was like, I just like his he looked roughly like anyone can look like a Reed when you grow a beard and the hair like that. But can you just put some more into it?
Also, just quickly, I just wanted to add on those cool death scenes of each of those Illuminati characters.
What was that?
I like the death scenes of those Illuminati characters.
I thought that was terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome.
I didn't like seeing people die, but especially my favorite heroes. But the way that they went was just horrible, just gross to look at.
Yeah, it was cool.
Any other notes about that particular scene?
I think that's it. I loved it.
I think I'll have to give it another go, pass around. But I actually, I like it, but I felt like as a film, it was all right and decent.
Yeah,
it was elements and
there were just sloppiness, a lot of sloppiness to it.
Yeah, but honestly, I enjoyed it. I love seeing my favorite references to my favorite superheroes. I can't wait to see the X-Men, Fantastic Four, or the Baxter Foundation.
Well, anyway, we'll wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, give it a go, watch it. And then, because I feel like this was going to be, if you watch this film, it helps lay out, I believe, the future plans for the Marvel franchise.
All right, that's another episode. We'll see you next week for another episode. Bye.
See you guys.